You let AI write your code. It looked perfect. You shipped it. And 3 days later, a bug in production. Your customer found it before your QA team did. Here's the uncomfortable truth. AI writes code at 10x human speed, but your testing process is still running at human speed. That gap? That's where bugs live. That's where your reputation gets destroyed. TestSprite closes that gap completely, and in independent benchmarks, it boosted AI code pass rates from 42% to 93% in one iteration. If you searched TestSprite review, you already know something's wrong with your current QA process. In the next 4 minutes, I'll show you exactly how to fix it. Here's the core problem that every dev team using AI coding tools hits eventually. AI writes code fast, dangerously fast. Tools like Cursor, GitHub Copilot, and Windsurf can generate hundreds of lines in minutes. But writing code and validating code are completely different problems. And as soon as AI becomes the bottleneck in testing, not writing, you're in trouble. Most teams deal with this in one of three painful ways. One, they write manual tests. Slow, expensive, and impossible to scale when AI is generating code faster than humans can review it. Two, they skip thorough testing entirely and ship fast, hoping nothing breaks until it does. Three, they hire more QA engineers at $80,000 to $120,000 a year per person. Just to keep up with code and AI is writing for free. None of these work at AI development speed. That's exactly the problem TestSprite was built to solve. TestSprite is the world's most powerful autonomous AI testing service, built specifically to validate code written by AI coding assistants. Think of it as the quality control layer that AI code generation tools were always missing. It was founded by ex-Amazon and ex-Google engineers, has raised $8.1 million in funding, and is ranked the #1 AI test agent for developers in 2026 by multiple independent research guides. It does something no traditional testing tool does. It creates a closed loop where AI writes the code, TestSprite tests it, diagnoses the failures, and feeds structured fix instructions directly back to the coding AI, automatically, without human QA involvement. Step 1 is a one-time setup that takes under 10 minutes. TestSprite integrates directly into your AI-powered IDE through its MCP server, connecting to Cursor, GitHub Copilot, Windsurf, and standard GitHub CI/CD pipelines. You don't move to a new platform, you don't change your workflow. TestSprite slots directly into the environment you're already in. Once connected, it understands your product, your features, your flows, your intent, without you writing a single test case manually. Step 2 is the part that feels almost too good to be true. You trigger testing with a plain English command. Type something like, test my payment-related features, or run end-to-end tests on the checkout flow. That's it. No test scripts, no configuration files, no hours setting up a testing framework. TestSprite understands the natural language command, maps it to your actual application behavior, and spins up tests autonomously in a cloud sandbox. Front-end tests, back-end tests, API tests, all triggered by a sentence. Step 3 is where TestSprite earns its reputation. While tests are running, it's not just checking pass or fail. It's doing something much more valuable. It classifies why each failure happened. It isolates the root cause, not just the symptom. And it generates a structured fix report that tells your AI coding assistant exactly what needs to change and why. Then, and here's the part competitors can't match, it reruns updated tests continuously to monitor deployed software for ongoing reliability after you ship. The loop is fully closed. AI writes, test, Sprite tests, test, Sprite diagnoses, AI fixes, test, Sprite retests. You ship. In benchmarks, this process boosted AI code pass rates from 42% to 93% in a single iteration, outperforming code produced by GPT-4, Claude Sonnet, and DeepSeek. Let's talk pricing. And I'm going to be honest here because this is where some reviewers pull punches. TestSprite uses a credit-based pricing model. You pay for test runs. The more you test, the more credits you use. For smaller teams or developers running occasional test cycles, the cost is very reasonable. And there's a free tier to start. For high-frequency CI/CD pipelines running hundreds of test cycles daily, You need to model your expected usage carefully. Multiple runs can consume credits faster than you expect. The honest math: if TestSprite catches even one production bug that would have cost you 10 hours of dev time to debug and fix, at 150-hour loaded dev cost, that's $1,500 saved from a single catch. For most teams doing AI-first development, this pays for itself within the first week. TestSprite is absolutely built for you if you're an AI-first dev team shipping code with Cursor, Copilot, or Windsurf, and you need automated validation that keeps up with AI generation speed. You're a startup or small team trying to replace expensive QA engineers with autonomous testing that runs 24/7 without headcount. You're an engineering lead responsible for production reliability who cannot afford bugs reaching customers and AI-generated features. You might want to wait if your app has highly complex custom business logic with nuanced workflows that require deep domain knowledge to test. TestSprite is improving rapidly here, but it's worth validating with a free trial before committing fully. Here's my honest final verdict on TestSprite. The problem it solves is real, and it's getting more urgent every month. As more code gets written by AI, the validation gap widens. Teams that don't solve this ship faster, but break things faster too. TestSprite is the most purpose-built, technically credible tool I've seen for closing that gap. Backed by real funding, real engineers, and real benchmark results. The 42% to 93% pass rate improvement is not marketing fluff. That's an independently verified benchmark against GPT, Claude, and DeepSeek. For AI-first development teams, this is infrastructure, someone ought to say, not a nice-to-have. Get it before your competitors do. Go to testsprite.com, link is in the description, and start your free trial today. Run your first test with a single natural language command. See what breaks in your AI-generated code before your users do. If this review helped you understand the AI testing gap, drop a comment below. Tell me what IDE and AI coding tool you're using. I read everything. Subscribe if you want more honest dev tool reviews before the hype cycle gets to them. See you in the next one.